Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Carol Head. I'm the president of the Solve MECFS initiative, and I'm just so thrilled to be here today. It is so great to see so many people coming out for a disease that's just not understood, underfunded, and from which so many people desperately suffer. It has really been such a long, hard haul to get the kind of attention for this disease that's so desperately needed.
I'm Ron Davis. I'm a professor of biochemistry and genetics at Stanford University. I'm also the director of the Stanford Genome Technology Center. This is just some pictures of my son, both when he was young and active, a wonderful person. There he is protecting his sister. And then down here at the bottom is what he looks like now. He's severely ill. He can't eat. He can't talk. But we know you're not generating the right biochemistry to generate energy. You can't really metabolize the glucose properly. They cannot metabolize fat properly. And they don't have any energy. And this is what happens when you don't have energy. And we got to figure out what's blocking it.
I'm here for my friend Lilan. She first started having symptoms in her late 20s, and now she's at the end. She's now been in bed for 7 years. She's a beautiful, beautiful woman, and she's just completely lost her life. She's my friend.
I've had this disease for 30 years. I'm 55 and I came down with it when I was 24. I'm here today because people need to understand this disease and know how serious it is. I've had a good friend pass away from this disease, Renee Diaz-Ferdinand, and also that there is not medical treatment that is available. And we need the government to get involved and to stop burying their heads and acknowledge this and give us the funding that we need so that we can come up with a cure.
I'm here on behalf of my son Gordon, who is 22. He's been sick since he was 12. And he's a very bright boy. He's fighting hard, but he needs help from the medical community, more research, more accommodation from schools willing to accommodate his type of disability. It's hard when you have a hidden illness to be taken seriously, and it's time to get the word out.
So I'm Linda Tannenbaum. I started and run the Open Medicine Foundation, the OMF. And standing next to me is Carol Head, president of Solve MECFS Initiative. Both of our organizations raise funds and manage research for MECFS. And both of our organizations raise funds mostly from disabled, desperate people who are sick and waiting to get their lives back. So obviously we're here to make sure that we ask the government for more funding. Like many of you, I'm a parent of a daughter with MECFS. 10 years ago, when she was 16, living the life of an excited teenager, she became suddenly ill, literally dropped off at school, and then suddenly bedridden with MECFS. This could happen to anybody at any time in the prime of their life. And we all know that because it's happened to all of you. I talk to many people all the time, and you see a lot of pictures here, that have been bedridden for 10, 20, 30 years. We joined forces, and Dr. Davis brought on a remarkable scientific advisory board. We now have 3 Nobel laureates, 6 members of the Academy of Sciences, which of course Dr. Davis is one of them, and top experts in their field that are leading the way to do research in this illness.
Well, what we really need is research funding for lots of investigators. And we really need NIH to step up to the plate and actually take responsibility for this problem and not just be passive and saying, oh, we don't get any good grants. Well, solve that problem.
So this is my baby boy right here. He's so beautiful. Look at him. He's an amazing man. And he doesn't look like this anymore. He was so active. He was so wise. He was so compassionate and creative and deep and thoughtful person who wanted to make a difference in the world. So now, somebody would take the photograph. This is him now. Sorry. So I take care of him every day. He can't stand anyone in his room except his father or me. He can't talk. He can't type. He can't use any electronics. He can't communicate. He can't watch TV. He can't listen to music. He can't get up out of his bed. He can't lift up a paper towel. He can't fix the covers over his body. He can't look at me. He can't allow us to touch him. He's so sensitive and so weak and so sick. He's in pain all the time. He can't eat. This is what this disease can do to people. It can take everything away from you. So I'm looking at this sick kid. I know that there are millions of people like him. I know that there are people who can fix it, who can figure it out in not that long of a time, and they are not getting funding. What do we need? Government funding! This needs to stop. We need government funding. We need people to realize this is real. The juxtaposition of me looking at my sick son and me looking at my incredible scientist husband and listening to all their ideas of what they could do if they had government funding. It just makes me feel like I'm in some kind of crazy surrealistic movie in some alternative universe. This is the United States of America. The NIH is supposed to take care of all its citizens. Their responsibility is to all sick people for all diseases, not just the ones that are in their favorite categories.
And I'm here because it's outrageous that people are suffering so acutely and there's no government awareness or intervention or help on the horizon. I mean, I think some people have that terrible phase the whole time and some actually die. But anyway, Luke did die, and it's an awful disease, and we need urgency. We need taking it seriously. We need the funds from the government.
So we came together as a group to support our loved one, Marilyn Yu. We just wanted to add our names to the list of people who would like to request more funding to find a cure for the disease. It's so hard to stand by and see our loved ones suffer, so we just ask that you increase the funding. Thank you.
I'm a disabled registered nurse who was stricken with ME/CFS about 17 months ago and have been unable to work or really function in life. I'm really here for the people who are bedbound, who are homebound, who can't even speak anymore. We went up today and met with the Health and Human Services Regional Office Director, Melissa Stafford, and we're hoping that she heard our pleas for more funding for research so that we can find a cure for this horrible, devastating illness.
I think that we're very close now to finding a molecular diagnostic marker. I think what this disease is the fundamental shutdown of the energy generation system in the body. And we can see that from all the molecules that we look at. And it really looks like it's a mitochondrial problem, and that can cause almost all of the symptoms we see. We can make a model for that. It explains the immune system problems, it explains the brain system problems, and so forth.
When I started working with Ron, I was studying DNA, technologies, microbiology, the gut, and then I heard that his son wasn't feeling well. It was more than that. It was his son was deteriorating. We struggle for funding, but we're also engaged and attracted, and we want to solve this. Right now, we have tools, we have new technologies, we find things now, and we're trying to explain them. So, in the past, if you felt lack of hope that nothing was changing, now it's changing. And it's because of him, and because of her, and because of Whitney, and because of all of you. And I just want to give you hope that we are not going to quit.
My name's Mark Kamenzin. My son Tom Kamenzin was a straight-A Stanford student, so guys get this too. He's now totally bedridden for 2 years, can't talk, can't chew food. So we need people like Ron Davis and funding to solve this problem.
Okay. Hi, I'm Brian, and I'm here for my wife Caroline Rainier, who's been suffering from ME/CFS for more than 7 years now. She's homebound, but she used to be very active. She was a designer, had her own business, and was a person that cared for other people. And now that she is homebound, people don't understand what she's going through. Her family has basically abandoned her, and she's lost a lot of friends, and she has no life outside of her home. And so I'm here to support her and the millions of people around the world that are suffering. And I just hope that we could find a cure and hope for all these people who've lost their lives, and for the people that have struggled to support the people they love.
Hi, my name is Miranda. My cousin here is Whitney. He's been sick since 2009. I haven't seen him since maybe 3 years. The last time I saw him, his mom told me that he wanted to see me, and I went in there. He's skin and bones. I couldn't talk, I couldn't look at him, but he hugged me and he cried. And I'm waiting for the day where he can throw me in the pool again, because he hasn't been like that since almost 10 years. And this needs to stop, and there are so many other people out there like that, and I can't take it anymore.